Tonight, NDC denounced militia group The Hawks, accused of killing party member in Ashanti region, and commits to discourage and deal decisively with all such groups that claim affiliation to it.
With a premeditated, act to come and kill, it could have been me, it could have been anybody. Yeah. We need to collectively stand up against this development.
More names pop up in connection with Monday shooting at the NDC Ashanti Regional Office as suspects on police wanted list rises to 12. We'll hear from the NCCE as it wages campaign to condemn, name and shame political parties who endorse the militia groups. As Joy News and the multimedia group throw its weight, start a campaign, hashtag disband the militia, the party militias now.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
And Top Story is always brought to you by Bond, your success, our passion. Also brought to you by Gasim Cement, the nation builder. Vodafone, the future is exciting, ready, and nationwide health insurance, our healthcare family. Tonight, the NDC is denouncing the militia group, The Hawks, accused of killing the party member in the Ashanti region. And they are committing also to discourage and deal decisively with all such groups that claim affiliation to it. You understand there's been a National Executive Council meeting that had looked into the developments, they're taking far-reaching decisions to deal with the matter. We'll hear from the national chairman shortly, who has been speaking to us about the party's commitment to work with all other political parties to deal decisively with the issue of party militias. This is happening on the day when in Ashanti region the police are telling us that they have picked more names of suspects in the connection with Monday shooting at the NDC regional office in Kumasi. The police are now on a manhunt for 12 suspects on this wanted list over the fatal incident that claimed the life of one person. Pro-NDC party militia, the Hawks, have been blamed by the police and eyewitnesses at the spot for the attack. Now, two top officials of the opposition party were invited by the police for questioning over the shooting incident. It included the former deputy spokesminister, Mr. Yamin, and also former MCE for Ejusu Jabeng, Mr. Yamar Ponko. Ashanti Regional Police PRO Godwin Ayanyo has been speaking on why they were invited.
Through yesterday, we invited two individuals who happens to be members of the NDC, that is Honorable Afifa Yamwa Ponko and Honorable Joseph Yamin. As part of our investigation, any name that comes up, we need to invite those individuals or the person to come to the command to assist us in our investigation. That was the reason why we invited them, because as part of our investigation, their names came up. So it was proper for us to invite them to assist us. That was the reason why we called them yesterday.
Were they helpful to the police in any way?
I must say they are cooperating. So I must say whoever matters in this very case, when the time is due for us to invite the person, we'll be doing so.
Has the police made any arrest yet?
So far, we've not made any arrests. We are still pursuing them. We are appealing to the general public to assist us by way of voluntary information. Though calls are coming through, people are calling, giving us information about their movement. Some of the places we moved to, those places, we are not able to meet them. I must say we are on course, and we are showing the public that very soon they'll hear some good news.
You say you are pursuing leads. Does it suggest that the police have been provided with more names that the outfit is following?
Yes. More names are coming up. When the incident happened, when we got there, we were given 4 names as the persons who perpetrated the heinous crime. Other persons have come to give us a statement as eyewitnesses, and some names are coming up. And very soon we put these names across for the public to assist us identify in those people and getting them arrested.
Do we know how many?
We have about 8 names, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the man who was killed has been buried today, but there was a major incident. We're learning from the police that the armed military and police personnel had to foil an attempt by some sympathizers of the man gunned down at the NDC regional office in Kumasi last Monday to cause trouble at Tafo. Hundreds took part in a solemn Islamic ritual to bury Abdul Wisal, the man killed at the office just a couple of days back. Erasasari Donko was at the family house before the burial and has come through with this report.
We are here at the family house of the late Wasiu, who was gunned down at the NDC regional office, and it's quite a solemn moment just before the burial. Let me speak with the mom. Mami, Yamao Yako, Kafra. Na ene sene nneema siakwe kakra ben na apesa wo
Menishia me de memeka ya me kan se me de urade ase de ase no urade hyehyeye nyesa wo mu so mo beku wase wo nyame a ode mo wase mo ame ono anaji na ade enti me ma the whole Ghana shedding Ghana ya hwere ade ye nyina ye shedding nyame ma ye nkwane ahonde Ghana fo aka no nkwala no mebu no nyame mo wo mo ho bai na wonye ani boni free wo mu so na wono so awodi sa adwuma no wonka hyenkodu.
Quite a brief statement there, and he is rather placing all youth in the zongos everywhere in Ghana in the hands of Allah, and he says that every child must be protected. He has nothing to say than to say that the person who did this should keep going and that he leaves him in the hands of Allah. I have a senior brother to Wasiu. Mohammed, what do you have to say?
This goes to the president and the Ghana IGP and the Kumasi Regional Police Commander. What we are repeating is that we need justice for Abdul Wasiu. We are not ready for revenge. We are not ready for anything. It is not about part A, part B, or part C. We know the constitution of Ghana. When you kill somebody, the law have to deal with you. So this is not between Abdul Wasiu, family of Abdul Wasiu, and the Medra. This is the issue between the state and the president, IGP, Regional Police Commander.
At the moment, it's a tense environment here at Sewaba Junction. The youth are quite tensed, and they blocked this particular end of Sewaba Junction, but the police have removed partially the blockade, allowing vehicles to pass through. You can count quite a number of military personnel armed, and we also have members of the rapid force from the Central Police Headquarters in riot gear, also armed.
And Erastus was there, and he's just joined us on the line now. Erastus, it appears from what you describe that it took some time for this to be brought under control.
Yeah, it took quite some time. In fact, I must commend the security agencies today. They were proactive. I think they got the signals on the ground. And so a number of armed military men, and then a number of police force armed with protective gear were placed at the entrance of the residence where rituals were done before the body was lifted. And then right there, we got information, in fact, intelligence from the security agencies that some of the youth intend to use the occasion to rekindle the old conflict at Tafo, where they were going to bury Wasiu. And so they formed a barricade at that end as well. The military put their Humvee in the middle of the road, and so as the youth were coming in from the cemetery, indeed they wanted to use that Tafo main road to go over there. I don't know why, but they just wanted to go over there, and it would have been trouble because of the old conflict that exists there. And so they prevented them from using that road. They also drove to another entrance where they could use to enter Tafo. They placed armed police over there to prevent the youth from also entering Tafo from there. That's how come they foiled what could have been another conflict on their hands.
But after this, that area is calm, I hear.
Yes, there's calm. In fact, after they prevented them from going over there, many of them had to ride their motorcycles through the Crowfoam Road and go back to their various destinations. And so that quelled everything. People went back to their homes.
Thank you, Erastus. Grateful for that fascinating, excellent report. Let's bring in the Ashanti Regional spokesperson for the police, Godwin Ahanyam. Mr. Ahanyam, I'm grateful for your time. And do we have the details of these additional suspects that you now have on your list?
Yes. As we are speaking now, we are about to come out with a press statement on them. We've gotten photographs of some of these suspects that we are about to publish on the various media platforms that will afford the general public the opportunity to identify them whenever they are seen within their vicinity.
And these individuals that you have on the list, were they members or were they part of the group that were seen on motorbikes on the NDC regional office premises?
Yes, as part of our investigation, persons who have so far come to the command to give us statements as witnesses of the unfortunate incident have given us some names. And these names that we are about to publish happens to be part of those who actually went to the NDC regional office to perpetrate that heinous act or crime.
And so as we speak, though, the 4 individuals that you put out earlier as the prime suspects, have there been any progress in apprehending them?
We've not gotten any progress yet, but then we are getting some leads. People are calling. We are getting information on them. So we are showing the public that we are pursuing them and we're getting close to them. And that they should be well assured that as a command, we'll do everything possible to get them apprehended and prosecuted.
The last time we spoke on this show, I asked the question about beyond their names, are you going to provide us, these 4, their pictures and what they look like, etc. I wonder whether you're going to do that in addition to the additional list you're publishing tonight, just yes, beyond their names.
Yes, if you remember, I indicated to you earlier that before your call came through, we were about to come out with a press statement on them with their photographs to be published on the various media platforms. So in the next 10-15 minutes, we will come out with their photographs. That is, those that we've gotten their photographs will be published for the public to be able to identify them whenever they see them within their vicinity or
also
community.
Clarify this for me. We had confusing reports about what indeed happened to Mr. Yamin and Yama Ponko when they came to the party office yesterday. First, were they arrested?
They were invited to the police command. You know, as part of investigation, whenever somebody is mentioned, it is prudent for us to invite them to give us a statement with respect to investigation. So when some of the eyewitnesses came to the command and we took statements from them, these 2 individuals' names pop up. And for that matter, we invited them to come and assist us in our investigation. That was the reason why yesterday we invited them, and they came, and as we speak, they are cooperating with us. We've asked them to go, and any time that we need to call them back to assist us, we'll be calling them.
Have they been charged at all with anything?
They've not been charged.
They've not been charged.
We're taking from them.
Are you looking to invite other executives of the party?
As and when names come up during our investigation, we will not hesitate to invite them to assist us in our investigation.
Thank you very much, Godwin Ahanyam. He's the spokesperson for the Ashanti Regional Police. And as you know by now, Multimedia has kick-started this campaign, and we're inviting you to join us. Hashtag disband disband party militias now. Disband the party militias now. Join us on Twitter on this, and this is manifesting itself in reality by getting the political players to make commitments we can hold them to. Tonight we've been speaking with the national chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Samuel Ofusu-Ampofo, about the incident in the Ashanti region, and reports that members of the Hawks, who we've heard from Mr. Yamina, people that are members of the NDC, and he is proud to be associated with them. The national chairman has categorically denounced the group and condemned Mr. Yamin for those comments as well, and has talked about how the party has just met at the very top level among themselves to take a strong stand on the matter of these militia groups who may be controlled by individuals in the party or affiliated to it. Listen to some of Ofusu-Ampofo.
And then, as political parties, the time has come for us to have a heart-to-heart discussion about the way forward. Do we think this is the way we should go forward after 25 years or so of democratic experimentation, which has been praised as... Are
you willing to work with your other colleagues in the other parties on this?
We have always worked together.
But going for at this moment?
You see, let me give you just one example.
I know. Because of time, we have to wrap up. Going forward,
we as a party, we are prepared to sit around the table with all other political parties to discuss open, transparent manner these issues that are gradually eating this country up. Because if we do not apply ourselves together and come together to fight against this menace, we'll be laughing at the wrong side of our mouths. And nobody knows whom the next victim will be. Because we need to intertwine this with all the other security breaches that are going on. You yourself, I believe that now as a frontline journalist, when you close and you are going home, you'll be looking left, right, and center. When you see anybody following you, either you branch to the next police station.
Whether I have fuel in my car or not, I roll up my glass.
You see? And so it means that we are all living dangerously. Let us work together as a people with the determination to end this canker.
If push, well, the word has been used, in fact, you even use it, disband. Is a party willing to disband these groups that individuals may have, or may be affiliated to the party? I'm choosing my words carefully. Individuals may have, or may be affiliated to the party.
Yeah, first and foremost, let me say that as a party, we are not going to endorse officially vigilante groups. We are going to investigate this matter, and we are going to rather strengthen our internal party security structure. We are going to task the new director for security and intelligence, who will be appointed, to assist us to develop a policy document that will guide us as how to handle internal party security structures as we go into 2020. But our appeal is that we must be sincere in this approach, because it is lack of sincerity and the fact that people put their ears on the ground and they realize that opponents are doing this, that, and then people say that, maybe for one is for armed. What happened to us in Ayawaso West Wagon, even though some people go out and say that our decisions show weakness, we believe that doesn't show weakness. It shows that we put life ahead of our parochial political interests.
So those individuals in your party who may be controlling some of these groups, vigilantes or militias, choose what you call it, and who claim to be affiliated with you, what do you tell them?
The party will be doing serious engagement, and as I indicated to you, we just ended a meeting with our Council of Elders. A number of steps have been taken. I don't think that for now it's appropriate for the public, but the party will take the necessary steps.
So if I to say militias or whatever you call it.
You see, Professor Kofi Awonome, he so rest in peace, never knew that an internal insurgency in Nairobi, Kenya, will be where he will meet his untimely death. What happened in Kumasi could have happened to any of us. If that person who came with a premeditated, act to come and kill, it could have been me. It could have been anybody. Yeah. So we need to collectively stand up against this, development, which for me is not good for the body politics of this country. We have gone through our democratic dispensation since 1992 till date. But you see, we must all reflect and ask ourselves, why is it happening this way? And let us be very truthful to ourselves. We shouldn't behave like ostriches. There are people who are living in communities where young men got up and joined other forces, delta forces, invisible forces, and others. And they see the immediate economic benefit and the changes in their lifestyle and the vehicles, their properties they are acquiring. If we are not careful, the indication is that if you join these groups and you are able to play to the rules of their games, there is financial and material reward that comes out of it. So people live in community and say, hey, this person went and joined this 3 days, just after 1 year, look at what is happening. That is what we politicians collectively must resolve to avoid, because nobody knows who the next victim will be. I believe that the time has come for us as a political class to say that this development is not good for the future of this country. As a democratic party, as a people who believe in the rule of law and who believe in constitutionalism and who believe that the democracy is the order of the day if we want to develop our country. And you see, this should start from the highest level. And I said that when pressure was being brought to bear on His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo to disband this militia, including a call by the Otumfuo himself, when these invisible delta forces and others attack open court, attack judges, they attack regional coordinating council, the seat of the head of the regional security chairman in the region, and they succeeded in doing all these things, it was eroding gradually the powers of the security architecture that.
And he admits that his own party has also been part of the problem. You want to listen to the full interviews on PM Express tonight as we push the political elite and class to own up to the problem, but also commit to do stuff about it that we can hold them to. Today, the National Commission for Civic Education has condemned the incident involving an alleged militia group, the Hawks in Ashanti region, 3 days ago. We can speak to the head of the commission, Madam Josephine Nkrumah, who joins us on the telephone line. Madam Nkrumah, I'm grateful for your time here on Top Story. We've just been listening to the chairman of the NDC reaching out and saying that he's ready to meet with all the political parties and commit to do something about this. Your reaction?
Well, let me first say it is a step in the right direction. But more importantly for us, we don't want any more lip service to this. We want to see, as we said earlier today, in word and in deed. So we've heard him. We want to see what concrete steps they are taking to disband the groups, how they intend to disarm them, how they intend to reintegrate them. Because if you say you say I'm no longer interested in this in party militia, as JoyFM uses, what happens to them? Do they become loose cannons? Who do they tend to? We need to understand that these people have now seen this as a source of income, a source of their livelihood. So if you are not going to patronize my words, I must look to another source for it. So what happens to these people? So these are the important discussions that we need to have. That parties say, yes, we want to disband them. They want to disband them now probably because really and truly they are not in full control of them any longer.
Madam, you just hit the nail on the head, and you get the sense talking to the party leaders that they themselves are scared of these individuals, these militia groups they've nurtured over the years, and they've been beaten into a corner now, and they have no choice than to come and sit at the table and find a solution.
That really is the crux of the matter. And now we are all left to grapple with this situation. But I believe that if at least they have come to the table now and they are ready to work together in good faith, so that we can find a lasting resolution to this, then I'm sure all the stakeholders who are involved in this, including the political parties themselves, will find a resolution to this matter. So for me, as I said earlier, I'm curious to know what steps the NDC is going to take to disarm their groups, what steps they're going to take to reintegrate them, and assure the good people of Ghana that we don't have loose cannons on our hands. Like you said, you're going home at night and you've rolled up all your windows, whether you want to or not, because we really can't afford to have a citizenry who live in fear. That sins against our human rights, and nobody has the right to put any Ghanaian citizen through this. So the political parties who have created these monsters must lead the way. They must show us how they are going to do this. And we should all fashion out a roadmap that can be clearly implemented by all of us together. But to say we are no longer using armed militia or party vigilantes, party militia, is not in itself the end. I think there's more to it, and we need to begin to look at these things. I think more importantly also is the role of our security agencies. If I heard the chairman of the NDC, he was talking about internal party structures for security. I'm wondering, okay, what kind of security? Don't we have properly constituted security agencies that should provide security for all of us? If they say they have a policy document that they are going to formulate, how does that ensure that tomorrow, in the future, we don't have these things rearing their ugly heads again? Do we actually need that kind of security apparatus for political parties?
And that is a bigger conversation that we need to have. And one of the things that we also need to explore is collectively the specific ways in which these groups can be disbanded. I'm grateful that you joined us, Josephine Nkrumah. This is just beginning, and I know we're ready to partner the NCC and other groups to do this together. I will be talking to you more on this. I'm grateful that you joined us. But in this interview, that if you join us at 9 p.m. on Joy News on television, you will listen to some of Usampafo also addresses some of the specific things they want to do about this, and also addresses the NDC hawks matter in the Ashanti region, and those who are funding and those who have publicly said they own these groups. But also, they've talked about the party's position as far as the Commission of Enquiry currently going on is concerned. Some very interesting thoughts on that as the party shifts its position from its outright boycotting of that commission. You want to stay with us, because on PM Express we'll get to hear all of this as we push the political class to own up to the problem that they have created. Hashtag disband party militias now. Stay with us.
It's time to experience